You would think anybody within the content would be pretty honored. Go, a guy over there, he's an Old Testament prophet. Old Testament prophet. Many times people talk about a prophet. It's intertwined with a seer of teaching wisdom on how to function within the realities of the world, a warning person that sacrifices a lot, their entire life for the service of the greater good of society. That would be beautiful. A prophet. 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 Right? Prophet. Well, you can't be a sincere prophet if you get an F in the second of only 2 commandments that Jesus taught. That's love your neighbor as yourself. Radical compassion. Actually, his first commandment was to love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, but it had nothing to do with religion of any sort, any religiosity. Just the intimacy of, I want to please this Creator, the world's bad, and all the religions teach that. Islam, Muslim meaning, Judaism, any form of Hinduism, it all comes down to non-judgmental, uplifting, unconditional love. But you know what's the opposite of that? Money. So if you get an F, if you change that PH into an F because you're thinking about yourself, your needs, your wants, well, then you're just thinking about the big I, right? Pro, no more PH. No purity there. You're getting an F in compassion because you're worried about the big IT. How much am I making? How's my union? What are the benefits? Wow. Any therapist is a prophet. They're a guide. They're a seer. You're taking in the very fragile. They have to take the Hippocratic oath to do no harm. And they're prophets to people. They speak life into people. They guide them. They help them in the entanglements that they're within to maybe live a more serene life. But you can't do that. Because that's just the role of a really good friend. Someone that's willing to sacrifice for you. Jesus also said, no greater love is there than someone is willing to die for someone else, to put someone before yourself. And Jesus also said, you want to be the greatest person? You want to win the gold medal from the gods? Serve everybody. Worry about everybody. Are you okay? You okay? How are you doing there? Are you all right? What's going on? Do you comprehend? That's what a pure therapist is. A sacrificial friend. But you can't be that. Because the PH is turned into an F. Because you have to think about yourself, I, first. So it's a job. Don't get too emotionally involved. Remember, you have your own family, your own friends, your own this. Gotta have that fourth wall of separation. And God forbid, these are crazy people. Did you ever see the movie Patch Adams? That wasn't orthodox. It wasn't his girlfriend, but there was a situation like that. Wow, you're going to work with the mentally ill? That's like I just love to see someone that told me to my face, oh yeah, I go out and I rescue dogs. I really care about them. And then they're all like, oh, upset that they got bit. You got upset they got bit. What are you working with abused dogs then? Oh, wrong idea. Now you're going to be a therapist. You're going to be a pure therapist. You shouldn't be part of this fucking system. Just become a purified friend. Forget it. This isn't a bunch of certification bullshit. Do you love? Do you love radically? Are you willing to put others before yourself? Are you willing to be, so to speak, the stronger brother, the stronger sister? Because that's really the role of a therapist. The stronger, the wiser. So instead of the strong taking advantage of the weak, the strong protects and guides the weak. And not within a bunch of endless amounts of rules set up by fucking lawyers and corporate investors, blah, 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 and insurance companies. The whole concept of therapy turning into an industry and now is offered in universities and you can make a good living? Really? Wow. The purity of being an individual prophet in somebody's life that is just shattered. You can't do that. You're no longer a prophet. Because you got to worry about the bottom line. You got to worry about the profit. I mean, I can't be that loving. I can't be. I got to keep that wall up. You gotta worry about I. So you're F in radical compassion. Because you put I before anything. So it's an industry. That's my point. It shouldn't even be a thing of therapists. That's just be a lot of very sincere people going, I just know a lot more. Let me help you. I understand this world. The world itself is bad, but I'll help you guide through it. Take a few friends. That's it. But then the world has to work without money. And that's why Jesus said the way to destruction is wide and broad. Everyone's on it. Everything is tainted. And it always cracks me up when people are going to make a boycott to make a point. There isn't a person that's putting on deodorant or using their butter, or buying a certain product that helps in your particular realm of whatever, that I am sure there was slave labor or child labor or such an unfairness of how that product, whatever it is, got to you. Everything is bullshit. Because it's about money, and as money is driven. Money's a bottom line. Money is the survival of the fittest. It just gets so obnoxious when he who dies with the most toys wins. And it's just insult to injury to a third of the people that that are the poor or the infirmed, or they just are not smart enough in the sense that they were so abused. You'd be kinder to just euthanize all of us. You ask us to live in a world where all of our air is polluted because of all of the... We're just adolescents. We're not fit. We're not fit. We're not fit. The survival of the fittest. Civilization is the strong protecting and helping even to your own sacrifice, like a really good parent. The weak. Money is driven. It's winners. That means there's losers. And you don't want to be the loser. So you just got to think for number one, and it's the way of the system. Therapy is purely about compassion, about deep understanding why behaviors that are appalling are done, and see if we can get to the root of that. And is there a way to undo this type of embeddedness within our culture so that everyone feels safe? But with pity and compassion, and there but for the grace of God go I, and to whom much is given, much is expected, and in a humility to know that maybe the people you help as a therapist are spitting all over the place like a pot of water because they got a lot of fire going underneath them, and you're next to them on a burner that isn't burning, or used to burn but doesn't burn anymore. Now you got all the advice. Well, you're not going to turn up your fucking burner long enough. See how holy you are, how much you dot your I's and cross your T's. Let me remind, I can only deal with where I live. I really grew up with ridiculous amounts of money until age 15. The last 50 years, because I'm 65, I've been obnoxiously poor, a lot, homeless, whatever. Let me just tell you something. There are two Americas, and I spit in the face of any judger of the first America. Until you sell all you have, you become really homeless within the system for a solid year. There are two Americas. You judge us? Yes, we're the parasites of you. Why don't you just let us all in? Why don't you stop worrying about how much you can gather and say, listen, I'll just take what I need and I want to help as many people as I can. The whole system is wrong. And everyone suffers. I'm just dealing because I've been out of psychiatric wards my whole life, and it's just the major part of my life as it relates to America and where I've grown up and blah, blah, blah. Do you know how obnoxious it is to have an infomercial come on and go, if you don't send money, these children are going to die, and they will. Don't you realize the whole fucking thing is wrong? You can't make compromise with that. The whole thing, money must be rid. Everyone must just want to help, knowing everyone's going to die anyway soon, and if you get... because you're going to die. Don't you get it? The only thing you're sure of is that any living thing that the gods have created will expire, die, and never be again. Fish, bird, land animals, mammals, insects, obvious Homo sapiens, humans, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, reptiles, I'm sure there's others. The point is, everything feels pain and dies. You will too. And all the religions basically go, how loving were you? Not are you going to die. How loving are you? How sacrificial are you? How much do you have empathy? How much do you you force yourself into other people? You shouldn't be anybody that works in a nursing home. No one. Until they spend a fucking year in there as a patient and they can't walk. They have to shit in their bed with a bedpan. But it's all money. Money is the opposite of compassion.